an online platform where you can upload your music. It's like Creative Commons, and they got radio stations and stuff like that. And when I reached I think it was 2 million streams on Jamendo, I did this track called Daddy Makes the News, and that was a rap track as well. And that was the first time, and now I have to do it again because I'm up to about 15 million or something. So,
wow!
At 15 million, I have to make another rap track. So that's going to be fun and weird, mostly weird probably.
You said that was Daddy Makes the News?
Yeah, Daddy Makes the News.
Oh, and that is on your Spotify, so I'm gonna have to listen to that later.
Oh yeah, please do, and tell me in your nicest words what you think. No, that's all right. It was a fun song. What else is there? There's going to be at least one instrumental track, which it begins like a bit like Trail of Dead, something like that from the independent scene, and then there's a jazzy part, psychedelic part in the middle, and it's loud. The whole record starts with a very loud track that's, I would say, pulls some inspiration from the Foo Fighters. It's of course not that cool, but it's at least as loud. And then there's some funk on there, and the last track, I guess the order has not been I haven't settled on an order, but I think the last track will be just me and a very soft electric guitar. That song has not been finished yet, so I'm not sure what it will be about. Yeah, and all sorts of stuff. There will be some loud tracks and some pop songs. I can't say the title of the record yet, but it will consist of 2 parts, and the first part will be the rap track title, and the second part will be the title of the actually, I guess, coolest song on the record. Which is, I would say, some sort of funk, like Jamiroquai or something like that. Yeah. I shouldn't say Jamiroquai because then people would think, oh, that sounds exactly like Jamiroquai, which they wouldn't have if I. Yeah, but there I said it. So can we please beep the Jamiroquai?
I'll try.
Oh no, I said it again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Is the album gonna tell a story, or is it just a compilation of songs?
The whole album will not tell the story, but at least 2, 3, or 4 songs will tell will have a coherent narrative, I would say. It will not be really a story, but they will center around the same subject.
Very awesome.
The next one will have a story, though. At least I think so.
Have you started working on that one yet, or is that just a distant project?
No, I have started working on that one. I'm always planning 2 or 3 albums ahead with the writing. It's not, of course, the writing is not finished, but I have written several songs and several parts of the album, and that's what I mean when I say it's in the making. It's not really in the making, but it's in writing.
Right. So when you finish and you go on to release this, are you going to release some singles first and then drop the whole album, or are you just going to drop it all at once?
I have never done that single thing before, but I think this time I will release a single, yeah. But it will be actually, yeah. I've wanted to release the single actually this summer, but then there was a catastrophe in Germany with all the rain and the flooding, and knowing the lyrics, that might have been a bit. It could have come across a bit insensitive. It has nothing to do with that, but people could have understood it wrong, and I decided not to do that.
That's
so
smart.
It will come out, I guess it will come out later this year.
Very cool. So when you're not working on music, what kind of music do you like to listen to?
Usually it's pop, mostly pop, but not as much as bubblegum pop, I would call it. More the direction, I would say, Jason Mraz, for example. I really like Jason Mraz, especially the older things he did, and some funk stuff. Like I really dig Steely Dan. I know that makes me a boomer, but I don't care. They did some amazing. They made some amazing music in the 70s and 80s, and they are still. I mean, one of them is dead now, but the other one is still a good songwriter. Yeah. And then some progressive rock. I really like progressive rock, like Spock's Beard, for example. The old Spock's Beard were really my personal heroes for a couple of years, and now there's a British band called Big Big Train, which I like very much, and they are releasing music like every year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they're pretty good. It's a pretty big formation. When they go live, they've got strings and brass and everything. It's bombastic, but really good songwriting and nice people.
My husband just went to a King Crimson concert.
Oh, nice one.
Yeah, and he was saying that they had 3 separate drum sets set up, all playing different things. And to me, I'm not the biggest progressive rock fan, just because sometimes I get like a little overstimulated. I'm just like, okay, that's a little too much.
Yeah, I know, it can happen.
Yeah, so he had gone with his sister, and when I asked him, I'm like, oh, how was the concert? He's like, you would have hated it.
But King Crimson is a special animal, really.
Yeah.
Because they usually try to go where it is, it borders being uncomfortable to listen to, especially on the headphones, when you've got 2 guitars playing totally different things on both sides of the head, and it's not like they're not harmonizing or anything. They're harmonically, they're going where you don't want to go, really. Yeah. And it's interesting. It feels interesting, but it doesn't sound very good. That's not always the case, of course. They've got just great rock songs also. Right. But they do that. And 3 drum sets, yeah, that's quite an experience.
Yeah.
And the drummers they are really good. I mean, Gavin Harrison was longtime drummer with Porcupine Tree, for example, which I really like. And Pat Masteletta used to be with King Crimson and other bands, and he's a fantastic drummer. And the third one I've forgotten the name, but they all together, they really combine in a great way.
Yeah. Do you like to play that kind of progressive rock sometimes, where it's just like, I don't want to say noise, but it's just noise?
No, I don't. I've never liked that. I suppose you mean like the music is all about shredding and who is the fastest, and or what do you mean noise?
Just like with like with King Crimson, just like, having the 2 guitars going at the same time, like just playing different things.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes, as you said, it's kind of overstimulating, but sometimes that's just what I'm going for. But mostly that kind of music I find it exhausting. It's the same with the shredding thing, which I mentioned, when it's just about who's the fastest and who can play the most complex part. That's not my kind of music. I like good songwriting. Even in progressive rock, you can find really good songwriting.
You do enjoy jazz as well. You had mentioned jazz earlier.
Yeah.
What style of jazz would you say you prefer, or is it just all jazz?
all jazz. No, I'm not good with styles. I've never really learned what the styles are and how you would call this and that. What I do like is some Coltrane, for example, and Chick Corea. I really like Chick Corea's style, and he's got some incredible records that when played on a really good stereo system or with really good headphones, that can take you on a ride. And that's the kind of jazz I like. I used to be in a jazz band myself, but that was a different kind of jazz.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what you would call it, maybe fusion or something like that. So it was all crammed together. Started in 5-piece with the keyboard, and then we were just 4 guys, saxophone, drum set, bass, and guitar. So it's really no. It went. How would you describe that? It was exercise and trying to complement each other, but also exercise, especially being the guitarist, because I was the only one who could really play chords. So on a bass guitar you can theoretically play chords, but you usually don't do that.
Right.
And so it was always a stretch between supporting the band and trying to throw some melodies in there.
Do you so other than the guitar and violin, do you play any other instruments?
Well, I have to when I'm recording.
Well, yes.
Yeah, I do play bass. Not as good as I would like to, but good enough for my music. At least I do play drums.
Right, you had mentioned that, yeah.
And some keyboards. Or piano or whatever. Keys.
So you're kind of just, you're well-rounded. You have all the bases covered, so.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I got the bases covered, and for all add-ins, I've got people to ask. Like the brass set, for example, saxophone. I've got people who can do that. And yeah. On one record I did in 2017, I think it was called Tavis 4. I had a friend play the drums, and that was kind of a nice addition. And I've been bugging him to play on the last record. I've been bugging him to play on this one, but he's got so much to do. He just so little time that I wouldn't be successful. But he listened to the song that is going to be a single eventually, and he said, "Oh man, I wish I had played the drums on that one." I didn't follow up with a question like, why are they so bad, or do you like the song so much? Because I was afraid of the answer. But maybe next time he will find the time.
Yeah,
that would be pretty nice, because I liked not having to make all the decisions myself.
Right.
When he played the drums, he played them the way he played them, and I had to work with that. And I like that.
Yeah, it's when it comes to, playing with another musician, it's nice to kind of get that outside style, that outside opinion to give you new ideas and see your music in a different way.
Yeah, absolutely. Because when I'm making music, I always wear 3 different hats or something like that. I'm the songwriter, I'm the producer, I'm the musician, and it all has to come together at some point. And I'm almost like I would say every solo musician, I'm never really satisfied with anything. So at some point you decide, okay, it has been enough time, let's abandon this ship and move on to the next one. But you're never really finished.
Right. Would you do like vocal duets, like have other singers come on to you, like sing with you in future albums or future singles?
Yes, I would absolutely like that. I had one song that was going to be a duet, but the singer I had in mind was unreachable at the time, so I sung it myself.
Now I know you're kind of like a solo operation and you have everything, that you do yourself, but like has COVID affected your music making progress at all?
Well, it's hard to say. Not really, I guess, because as you said, I'm a solo operation. I always do everything on my own. So I guess no. it has affected my, my musical, whatever you would call it, the musical world around me.